Anunnaki. The origin of the sacred killing of the king was the Zagmuk, or New Year's festival, corresponding to our Easter, when Babylonians celebrated the death and resurrection of their chief god Marduk, the patron deity of Babylon, also known as Bel. 3 important ceremonies were performed for Bel. These acts of worship were fertility rites, referring to the agricultural cycle of nature, with the death of crops in winter and the return of life in the spring, but were also viewed as actually recreating the cosmos itself. In Uruk, the festival was associated with the Godin, the Sumerian god of the night sky. Both are essentially equivalent in all respects to the Akkadi Anakita festival. Zagmuk, which literally means beginning of the year, was a Mesopotamian festival celebrating the triumph of Marduk over the forces of chaos, symbolized in later times by Tiamat. As the battle between Marduk and chaos lasts 12 days, so does Zagmuk. The peak of the festival took place on the spring equinox. 7 First, the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian epic of creation, was read, which recounted when the Anunnaki gods gathered together to find one god who could defeat the gods rising against them. Anunnaki, 7 judges of the underworld, the children of the god Anu, who had once lived in heaven but were banished for their misdeeds, are the origin of the numerous accounts of legendary giants, known as the Anakim and flood story of the Bible, otherwise recognized as the fallen angels, or the Titans of Greek mythology. Marduk answered the Anunnaki's call and was promised the position of head god. Marduk sets out for battle, mounting his storm chariot drawn by 4 horses with poison in their mouths, and defeats the leader of the Anunnaki gods, who is the dragon, Tiamat. There was a dramatic representation of the conflict between Marduk and Tiamat, during which the god is vanquished and slain, but is raised from death by magical ceremonies, and eventually overcomes the dragon. Secondly, the king is brought before the image of Marduk, his insignia are removed, and he is slapped in the face by the high priest. An omen was taken at this point, that if the blow produced tears, the year would be prosperous and vegetation would grow. Finally, in a ceremony known as a sacred marriage, the king, acting the part of the god, practiced ritual copulation with a priestess, symbolizing the union of the god and the goddess. At the festival's end, the king was slain. To spare their king, Mesopotamians often utilized a mock king, played by a criminal who was anointed as king before the start of Zagmuk, and killed on the last day.